Hi guys, it's Lauren Manninen with the Eastern Iowa Arts Academy here. I hope everyone's staying safe and creative. And today I have another cool project for you guys. And this is a printmaking project that uses some common household supplies you should have. So let's look at the supplies we need and I'll explain a little bit more. All right, let's get started.
First thing you're going to need is some styrofoam, and that could be a styrofoam plate, or if you have these styrofoam sheets, those work great too. And then the next thing we're going to need is a pencil, a pen, some washable markers, and the important part is they're washable. Sharpies will not work for this project, and we can have as many colors as you want. The next thing that we are going to need is some tape and some scissors. We also need a wet towel and some paper, and this can be regular printer paper. That works just fine. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my styrofoam plate in this case, and I'm going to cut it out into a circle. Now you can make yours whatever shape you want, but this is going to be the shape that our print is going to be. The next thing I'm going to do is trace my shape with my pencil, just so I have kind of an area where I know I can draw my design. But to choose my design, I'm going to take some inspiration from nature. My backyard had these beautiful periwinkle flowers, so I thought it might be kind of fun to make a print of those. So I'm going to start by sketching, just sketching kind of very lightly and loosely. This does not have to be perfect. And kind of, well, actually, I'm not so sure about this one. Maybe we'll flip it over and try again. I think I want to incorporate all the flowers, or maybe a couple of the buds here. So let's start over. So again, I'm just sketching very, very loosely. No need to be perfect. And we have plenty of time here. So, yeah, and I'm going to add the leaves. Then maybe a little flower in the background. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. And the next step here is to cut out our design just along that traced edge we made earlier. And this doesn't have to be completely straight or perfectly circular. It really doesn't matter at this point. And then I'm going to tape it to our styrofoam plate. And I'm just using Scotch tape. And then I'm going to take a pen. I'm switching from a pencil here because a pencil is actually pretty sharp. It might poke through the styrofoam. And I'm going to use a pen and trace all of the lines that I had made. And I'm going to make sure to kind of be firm, but not too firm. You'll get a feel for it when you try. And once I have my image traced, I'm going to go ahead and remove it from the styrofoam and look at the indentations that I had made. If some of them seem too shallow or are kind of hard to see, I'm going to go over again with my pencil or my pen, just being careful not to poke through with the pencil. And yeah, that looks pretty good. So next step, we're going to use our markers, and these have to be washable markers. This will not work with permanent markers. So I'm going to go ahead and just color in my little plates here, and I'll use some yellows and some greens. And the other nice thing about these washable markers is they blend a little bit. Just keep in mind if you're using yellow, you might muddy the tip of the marker a little. So maybe don't use your super, super nice markers. And let's see. Oh, and that purple is pretty much perfect, isn't it? So I'm just going to layer these colors on the styrofoam, and it's going to want to kind of disperse a little bit, but I'm just going to keep covering them. When we press this onto the paper, it's going to soak up all that pigment from the markers. So as I finish coloring this up, I am then going to get a wet cloth. And I'm going to go ahead, oh, I got some on my hands here. I'm going to go ahead and dampen our paper, just kind of pulling along a little bit. Just a little damp. You don't want it sopping wet. And then I'm going to take my paper and lay it on top of our styrofoam plate. I'm just going to then press kind of firmly but gently until our image starts to kind of appear through the back. You don't want to use too much water here or your paper might disintegrate. So anyhow, we're looking good. Let's see how it turned out. Ooh, that purple is pretty much perfect, isn't it? So as you can see, this printmaking method is pretty darn simple, and you can use it a ton of different other ways. So let's see how you guys can be creative. Give it a try and share your results with us. Stay creative, you guys, and we'll see you next time.